to Sheremetyevo International Airport in Moscow. A security reminder to keep all baggage with you at all times, unless you are a spy making me proud. Flight 4926 to Rostov-on-Don is now boarding at Gate 1. If you are invading Ukraine, please report to Gate 17 for boarding pass. Attention passengers, free Wi-Fi secure service is now provided so that you can continue hacking DNC servers while you await for connecting flights. Aeroflot Flight 1843 is now arriving from Minsk at Gate 11. Vice Courtesy Phone, Mr. Jason Bourne, please pick up the Vice Courtesy Phone.
Da?
Do you speak English?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? We are in Russia.
Well, somehow I thought this was the line for my flight. I mean, it seems they're waiting in line for... Anyway, I missed my flight.
Where would you like to go?
I want to go home.
Yes, I've discovered the problem.
What's that?
We have no flights to your home.
How close can you get me, say, to Minneapolis?
I don't know. What is my margin?
Look, I just... Any flight to the States or to Europe.
You are in Europe.
I thought... Isn't art?
It's okay. I am here to help you. Part of Russia is in Asia, and part is in Europe. You are in Moscow, European part. Now, I have a flight to South Africa.
South Africa? God, no!
See if you are narrowing, always narrowing margins. Or I have direct to EWR connect to MSP.
Oh, I see. WR Newark, MSP, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Paul,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Now, did you pack your bag yourself?
Of course. Who else?
I don't know. Maybe you have something inside.
Like?
I don't know.
What are you implying?
I don't know. Maybe you have a bomb.
A bomb?
A bomb.
A bomb? Is that what you're trying to say?
I didn't say bomb. Why did you say bomb?
I didn't say bomb. You said bomb. I was just finishing your sentence.
I clearly heard you say bomb.
I heard bomb.
She doesn't lie.
How would I know?
I know her. She knows me. We don't know you.
Look, I don't have a bomb, just socks and underwear, and all I want to do is go home.
Do we fly to his home now?
No, but you will not listen to reason.
Look, can I just have my ticket and go now? Oh, jeez.
Of course, sir. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority.
Jesus.
Americans are too easy. They are ready for you.
Not for me. For him, but he is late, just like before. I hate this guy.
What will you do?
Start. Let him look like the fool. ladies and gentlemen, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up! Thank you. Welcome to Terminal F of Sheremetyevo International Airport in Moscow. I am a representative of Great Russian Federation. Our esteemed President Vladimir Putin has graciously allowed all of you be here for this very important press conference, which is also being live streamed on YouTube. We are fancy. Like Apple. Also, we will be taking questions from the Twitter, the internet, Snapchat, and you here in the audience. It's casual, this discussion. Like a conversation in your living room with many people watching. Oh, that reminds me. Please know we have very sophisticated listening devices, just like your NSA, so you are most certainly being recorded. If at any time you begin to feel discomfort, remember that you are in Russia. This is natural. A few rules to make your time with us as enjoyable as little. Please now turn all modern communications devices to vibrate, or you will be shot. If men in suits take away a person sitting next to you, you saw nothing. You had chance to use toilets. Now you must wait for this to be over. Pay very close attention. No talking. Now, дамы и господа, ladies and gentlemen, the Great Russian Federation, home away from home for Donald Trump, is so proud to introduce Nobel Prize nominee, NSA whistleblower, winner of the Integrity Award from Sam Adams Associates, and man about town, Edward Snowden.
The more things change, sometimes you just need a bigger diaper. Thank you for coming tonight. There's a lot to talk about, but first, I wanted to get into this. Well, that's sooner than I thought it would be. A little help here.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, hacker boy. This is just my way of saying hello. You didn't really think we'd let you do this without any proper oversight, did you?
Who do you think you are? This has been sanctioned by Vladimir Putin himself.
Flankins, Joel, so-and-so.
How's it going, Ed? What's it been? 2 years?
2 years, pal. How's life? The NSA? Brighter over there? With all the new light shining all over the place?
Alright.
NSA, You are a guest in this country, tread lightly.
You're a feisty one, aren't you? Well, where would the KGB be without beautiful women? Get it? KGI, never mind.
Don't push it, buckaroo.
Agent Flankins was here for my last press conference. Flankins of the NSA, please meet.
You may call me Natasha, why not?
Is there a last name? Hey, friend me on Facebook. You know, we invented it.
No.
To which one?
You're already beginning to, how do you say, bug me.
Oh, still in league with the KGB and communists, huh, Eddie?
I'm not in league.
Is not KGB, is FSB, is not communism, is, Putinism.
Don't you mean socialism?
No, not even close.
Rand Paul would love it here. Can get to this, please?
Yeah, just a minute, Eddie boy. You're not the only enemy of America I'm interested in here.
Haven't changed, Flankins.
Yeah, sure. So, where's your office?
Excuse me?
Yeah, your office. Is it in the old KGB building? That's what I thought. Still, you're pretty hot for a field agent.
I did not say I was field agent.
Oh, with a pat down like you gave me?
Honestly, Flankins, can we get on with this, please?
Oh, you betcha, Buster. Time is rubles. Please. Continuing.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Don't let me stop you from sowing more dissent and treason, just like old times, huh, Eddie boy? Please, by all means, continue.
Thanks. Are you just going to stand there?
Yup.
And you're just going to let him?
Technically, you are free. You are a, treasured guest of the Russian Federation. And technically, there are treaties that say FSB doesn't tangle with the NSA. We have no wish to foment any diplomatic issues, we shall say.
Foment?
Like that, huh? English, one word a day.
Get a room. So in no way do you break into my apartment and suddenly move objects around?
Yeah, you're sounding a little paranoid there, buddy.
Flankins,
In fairness, we do that. Just for shits and giggles.
Really?
Da.
Admit it, you do tangle with the NSA.
Maybe.
May I start now?
By all means. Oh, well, sorry. Forgot the very fuzz.
Yes, you should go.
Well, my life is a bit complicated. Anyway, thank you for coming tonight. To be honest, I was a bit worried when they told me I couldn't talk to you, but only if I came back to the airport. It's strange being back here again. Not bad, but strange. My life for a couple of years was a little bit like a Jason Bourne movie. They actually filmed part of the sequel here in Terminal F. That's what he used to be famous for. I wonder if I'll get a plaque. So, let's get to it. Why me? Why now? Why would I want to do this? Here's it. I'll answer it like this. Of the few people who could, I was the only one that would. I waited. You don't do something like I did out of nowhere. See, in 2008, I honestly thought that the most questionable programs will be discontinued once Bush was gone. I mean, we were collecting data at twice the volume of even Russia. No offense.
Niet problema.
That's called pissing in your own bed. Priceless, Eddie boy.
Anyway, candidate Obama really sounded like he would come in and shut these programs down before they got to full strength. With the economy in shambles, surely you could use a few billion extra dollars a year for something more productive. Instead, he doubles down, strengthens the programs, gave them even larger budgets, and ignored judicial oversight. And what about Congress? Well, for those of us with inside information, they're even bigger liars than they appear to be on the news. Or The Daily Show, or... well, Colbert's pretty close, actually. A push to secretly spend billions of dollars on, again, secret programs to spy on Americans, all while saying we don't have enough money. It was the one thing Republicans and Democrats could agree on. They've been agreeing on this for years. The first time someone blew the whistle on PRISM, Nancy Pelosi herself pushed the bill through the House to give blanket immunity to every telecom that participated in helping the government illegally spy on its own citizens. Heaven forbid, if citizens could sue the companies, they'd stop helping the government. And all the NSA had to do to get Republicans to back these programs was to change the name from Total Information Awareness to Terrorist Information Awareness. Both sides swore that they defunded the programs to spy on American citizens domestically, but A small bipartisan few knew that the classified section of the same budget had moved to a place Americans couldn't see or complain about.
Yeah, hold on, Big Ed. The president said there was judicial oversight. Now, come on.
Even you can't be that much of an idiot, Flankins.
I could so.
It's called the FISA Court, and it's supposed to ensure, among other things, that these programs aren't being used to spy on Americans illegally. And did I mention they can't keep records? So we'll never know.
Yeah, well, then it wouldn't be secret then, would it? Duh.
Are you sure you're in the right country?
Now or later? But I don't get the question.
Continuing.
Obama's argument is that this is all on the up and up because the secret court says so. And no one is allowed to know what the secret court does or says because it's secret. Oh, but don't worry. The NSA can't have done illegal surveillance because they have judicial oversight. Only by their own admission, the court discovered in 2009 that the NSA had unknowingly misled the FISA court, repeatedly giving them false information. That false information was the basis of all the court's legal decisions. FISA court didn't like being lied to and told the NSA they needed to fix their programs and comply with the Constitution.
And we are. The NSA has promised to get right on that just as soon as we can.
You said that 5 years ago and then 2 years ago when this all came to light.
Yeah, well, there's scheduling issues. Personal days, vacation. Yeah, I mean, an agent calls in sick. I can't tell you how the work piles up.
HR can be a real bitch.
5 years, Flankins?
So are you feeling bad that the government lied to you about surveillance? Or that the secret court protecting your civil liberties was lied to? Which is it, Edinator?
Now you are sounding...
Russian.
No, Soviet. Andropov style, baby.
All right, then let's talk liars, shall we?
Hey,
When I left, I knew they tried to brand me as a liar. Donald Trump thinks I'm a Tim Burton movie starring Johnny Depp.
oh, the boy with the garden impediments for heads.
Implements.
Is different?
Hillary Clinton said I let a lot of sensitive information fall into the wrong hands. I guess that means the American people.
The enemy within.
But see, that is why I was so careful to give the documents to reliable journalists who could be trusted. The stories they've written about the leaks I provided have had some interesting effects, if you were watching closely. 2 years ago, the information about PRISM and the government collecting your emails and phone calls was released, and President Obama said that they weren't spying on Americans. Fast forward, and there are now NSA people sitting in every telecom and internet provider in the nation.
Yeah. I'd call that a win, Eddie. Eddie, Bo, Betty. Banana, Fana, Bo, Betty. Fee, Fi, Mo, Meddy. Eddie.
The name game. Do Natasha.
Working on it.
Over here. When the president says I'm just an alarmist because all I've proven is the possibility that these programs could be abused. They did a small audit of 5% of the system and they found 6,000 some misuses. Not that they infringed upon 6,000 citizens, no. That's 6,000 times they went through people's information illegally. 5%. President shut up about me being an alarmist after that. Oh, and then there's my favorite. When President Obama said that the FISA court was transparent. Yep, that little gem earned him a pants-on-fire rating on PolitiFact and derisive snorts from everyone involved in the intelligence community. That prompted the president to request an overhaul of the FISA court website. You see, not the actual court, mind you, just the website. You see, it was all just an IT issue. I'm sure the lack of transparency is just an issue with the fonts.
So are we supposed to believe that the great Edward Snowden is some sort of hero now?
I saw the movie.
Don't tell me how it ends. Flankins, how do you sleep at night, man?
Baby.
Oh. What? Is cute.
A lot of people knew about this, and no one stepped up. Of the 1.3 million citizens with top clearance, only a few hundred could prove it. And apparently I'm the only one with the network permissions and the idealism and the guts to actually pull this thing off. The takeaway from all this? Just know that the programs you feared were there, are there. You should know. And someone should be held accountable. And as for me, I know I'm lucky to be alive and able to communicate. I've been critical of Putin and Russia, but at least I can say what I wish.
They're using you, Snowden. Wake up!
2 years ago, I was glad this was all on the open and that the American people had the right. And now, curated by the FSB, your questions.
Very well. Oh, we have our first Twitter question. Russian Pride wants to know, is picture of you and Putin in hot tub photoshopped? Come see.
That's hilarious. Can you send me that?
Really? That's the first question?
You have something to hide?
No, that's not me.
Well, what about this one? Oh, it's cute how they care. How can you take shelter in a country with such a terrible record when it comes to human rights?
First of all, the irony is not lost on me. After all, Russia used to be the world leader in domestic surveillance.
We wrote the book, but doesn't bother us. We don't have constitution like yours. It's never been a secret. Or what's the English word for secret that everyone knows, so it's not really a secret? Plus, our press has never been free for long, so we're good.
Okay, so, yes, Russia's approach to civil liberties leaves something to be desired. For instance, this new law they have now here against homosexuals, which President Putin supported, is coming from a guy who is all over the media in more homoerotic poses than Reverend Ted Haggard in a meth lab full of male prostitutes. Seriously, Flankins?
That's not me, Dances with Eddies.
Hey, this isn't funny.
You must understand, President Putin is very sensitive soul like your Chuck Norris. Say you are sorry.
I meant no
None of
harm.
your American dances with language. Say you are sorry.
Proszę prosienia. Please excuse me.
I'm starting to like Russia!
We are melting pot. Большое спасибо, boys. Please. Continuing.
Right. Where was I?
Human rights. The gays.
Right. Well, while I may have my own reservations about some of Russia's internal policies, I am only a guest here and have been grateful of the hospitality that has been extended to me. Next question.
Ooh, they're getting catty. Like atheists making a return at Hobby Lobby. Kathy P. from Kentucky writes, you committed treason. You are not special like Hanoi Jane Fonda, and your days are numbered.
Well, everyone's days are numbered.
Okay.
But you need a clear conscience to make the most of what you got. And while the past director of the NSA has joked publicly about putting me on the kill list, no one who is currently in charge of the NSA has threatened to kill me.
BAM! Just kidding, Eddie Third Rock from the Sun, Snowden.
Come off it, Flankins.
You don't know me. You don't know my orders. I could just whip out a 9mm right now. Kaplow! Security threat neutralized. 10 years from now, kids are getting dropped off at Flankins Elementary School.
Well, I got something you could drop.
Boys, please. No Americans die in Russia without approval of FSB.
Wait, what?
Moving on. Joanne from Florida says, did you really think you'd get away clean?
Clean? Nothing about any of this is clean. And I may have thought this out a bit better, but you tried blowing the whistle on the NSA? On American freedom? Basic human freedom, it isn't easy. Hell, they kicked in the door of my old place like a half an hour after I got on the plane in Hong Kong. I know I am no mastermind. I know I'm lucky to even be alive right now.
At Ditto Head says, are you surprised more Republicans than Democrats support you?
To put it plainly, yes. I've stepped into this weird alternate universe where up is down, left is right, and Rand Paul supports what I did, but Nancy Pelosi calls me a traitor. In addition, when Glenn Beck and Michael Moore agree on anything, everything is really.
You got that right.
Celia from Alaska asks, is it true that they can break any encryption I used in my email?
No, that's not true.
Flankins, don't lie to the lady. You have to realize that none of your electronic communication is private anymore. It doesn't matter if it's a sent email and your message is in drafts. It doesn't matter if you're talking or texting with your friends. On your phone. There were a few services secure from the NSA, including Lavabit, my old email provider. But the government demanded they hand over all their user information and encryption codes the day after I landed in Hong Kong. Lavabit chose to shut down rather than give the government unrestricted access. See, I'm glad someone asked this question because there is no encryption safe from the US government. So if you're not a super user, assume it's all open.
Don't listen to him, sweetheart. Yeah, he may have worked for the CIA and the NSA, but his record is hardly clean.
Here we go.
Oh, is he a bad boy?
Very bad.
Still talking about Geneva?
It's a big black mark on your record, Eddie Munster.
Have you even actually read that part of my file?
Yeah, enough to know that you have a big black mark.
He is smart-ass.
Okay, I'm going to explain this. Apparently, all they are releasing is that I had... what was it?
A big black mark?
On your record at the CIA. Hardly the sign of a trustworthy agent.
I found a way the CIA system in Geneva could be exploited. I told my boss, he ignored me, so when it was time to write self-reviews, I included some code in mine that would highlight the exploit.
See? It's fun.
No, you hacked the CIA system in a foreign country.
To point out a security flaw to my boss's boss.
You know, the president was right to call you a hacker, just like that Hammond kid.
Jeremy Hammond, Flankins, do you honestly not know what I did for the agency?
Oh, other than work to destroy it and all of America in the process?
Learning more about you every day, Flankins. I noticed the for sale sign in Hawaii.
Okay, Buckaroos, we keep going.
Few interruptions from the nut gallery.
Don't you mean peanut?
No.
Okay. Oh. A whole bunch here on Twitter about your lady friend. At Cosmopolitan asks, have you talked to your ex? What would you say to her?
That's private between her and me. I'm not here to discuss that. Also, that has nothing to do with the NSA or invading the privacy of
They're
America, so I don't...
asking. Chad from Cleveland says, Any more pics of your hot stripper GF? My spank bank is low.
Jesus, really? Also, she wasn't a stripper. She's a dancer, a real, legit dancer. Not that strippers aren't legit dancers.
God, Jezebel.com's gonna nail you for that one, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. In all seriousness, though, she was an acrobat who takes an incredible amount of strength.
There's no getting out of this, man. You should move on.
It's been almost 3 years. She graduated from the Maryland Institute School of Art and danced with an acrobatic troupe there. And I'm sorry, and I hope she's gotten on. I hope she's happy, is all I'm going to say about her. Can we move on?
Little touchy there. Tears of an Eddie.
No, leave him be. Some things he does not talk about is okay.
No, he's not. See, the people have a right to know what kind of person is out there spreading lies about their government.
Introducing Agent Flankins, NSA. You know I'm not lying. And this has nothing to do with my girlfriend.
Oh, don't you mean ex-girlfriend? Well, you didn't have that talk, did you? Yeah, he never gave her the Ed talk.
Whoa. You mean you just left her? She really knew nothing? Ouch.
I wanted to tell her, but I couldn't. It would only be worse if she had information to give. She had to know nothing or she'd be in jail right now, and it would be my fault. Now, no one even talks about her, and that is the way... Can we please move on?
You really think her life is better because you neglected to tell her you were dumping her and leaving her in Hawaii? Listen, Mr. Ed, using the FBI and a horde of reporters to tell her that you're breaking up is... It's cold, man.
Like Phil Collins.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer and...
He's not good with end relationship.
Please stop with the name crap, Flankins, Stinkins. Can we get back to the questions, please? That's what I'm here for. I don't think I'll have a real chance to do this, so let's...
Oh, you said that last time, but here you are coming back again and again like a bad case of hemorrhoids.
You would know.
Oh, blanket stickers. So dumb. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, a whole bunch more about your girlfriend. We'll skip those. Brett from Minnesota asks, what does it say about you that your closest friend is creepy WikiLeaks guy?
Yeah, friends with your pal, Putin.
For the record, I was critical of the data dump from the DNC hack. Julian Assange has been supportive, even though he does look like...
Lucius Malfoy's brother.
I was gonna go with one of the vampire uncles from those Twilight movies.
Oh, I'm almost done with new Harry Potter. No spoiler alert.
Yes. Of course, I wish one of my best allies wasn't imprisoned in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for the foreseeable future. It's kind of like your parachute doesn't open and the pilot from the airplane yells out, hang in there as long as you can, I'll think of something. But I pretty much owe my life to WikiLeaks since they connected me with Sarah Harrison, and she's managed to stay a step ahead of you so far. What, with an American Express card as opposed to your $11 billion budget?
Hey, that's classified, Eddie Munster.
Oh, that is, how do you say, a burn. Burn!
Well, the British intelligence agencies would
No,
really...
say GCHQ, sounds more impressive.
Okay, well, the GCHQ would really like to speak to her. Where is she, anyway?
My God, Flankins, you are bad at your job.
Yeah, well, I hope when she's here, someone is monitoring her.
We have that covered. Do you really think we don't know how to do our jobs?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just these people frustrate me.
Citizens.
They are tricky. But it's nothing FSB can't handle.
Can we get back to the questions, please?
Duh.
Don't you worry about Uncle Creep. It's only a matter of time. And no one went to see his movies.
I don't think it was...
Whichever way, Ed! It's only a matter of
Can we get back to it?
James from Virginia says... Oh, this one must be for Flankins.
Agent Flankins.
James wants to know, don't they have to get a warrant? Isn't that in the Constitution?
Yes, Fourth Amendment, thank you, that's a great question.
And then we do get warrants. But the courts have made it pretty clear that once something leaves your person, it's like garbage on the streets. I mean, we're simply going around collecting your trash.
Seriously, Flankins, do you listen to yourself? Do you even actually get warrants?
No, we do. We get them.
You kinda get them.
No, we get a warrant for every search.
Oh, that must take so much time.
Tell me about it.
No, Flankins, be real. It's not like Law and Order where you get a judge and you go from
Yeah,
house.
well, the FISA court oversees us.
You use a loophole and drop-down menus
Drop-down menus.
to search. You have to use a drop-down menu for reasons the FISA court allows for domestic surveillance. And with 2 hops, you can get anyone.
Yeah, you're blowing this out of proportion, Eddyville.
2 hops.
Everyone you know is 1 hop from you. Everyone that everyone you know knows, that's 2 hops.
Oh, it's like Kevin Bacon game. I am 4 hops from Kevin Bacon.
No, now you're trivializing it.
Drop-down menu and loopholes. What's next?
Josh from Houston says, running is puss move, bro. Too bad on the pardon.
Half expected. I mean, look at the way the Obama administration has gone after whistleblowers. How about the way they treated Chelsea Manning? I mean, the UN envoy on torture got involved in her case in freaking America. What was that Russian joke you told me earlier after a long illness?
No, it's not joke. After a long illness from which he did not recover, the premier returned to his previous duties.
See? Make fun of Russia all you want. But the Obama administration said that prior to my conviction, I would receive a fair trial, so...
Yeah, I'll take you back whenever you're ready. Fair trial means you have nothing to fear.
Yeah, my completely fair trial where I will be innocent until proven guilty. When half of Congress and practically every presidential candidate last year called me a traitor.
Hey, we promise not to torture you.
Forget Flankins. I was a contractor with classified clearance during the height of the so-called war on terror. Can the government say it doesn't torture anymore? Maybe. Can we say our contractors don't? I don't think so. Checking with Senators Wyden and Udall on that. They've been trying to get that report declassified once upon a time.
Hey, just keep the leaks coming, Snowden. You're just digging your own grave.
Are you not listening? The leak has happened. I had every chance and some pressure to work for the Russians, but I didn't. I'm not sitting around Russia releasing things like some Bond villain.
Oh, aren't you, buddy? Aren't you? All you're missing is a hairless cat.
That's Dr. Evil.
Whatever, Mr. Potato Egg.
Can't even keep your villains straight. It's no wonder you miss Orlando and San Bernardino. Not to mention the rise of ISIS.
That's not what we do.
$11 billion, Flankin. What do you do?
Boys! Please. So aggressive. But we are here for answering of questions, not for penis-sizing contest.
Right. What do we have next?
Amanda in Tulsa says, legalize hemp.
Really?
The hashtag Ask Eddie is really catching on.
Please don't call me. Are there any real questions?
At Mandy Foo says, boxers or briefs?
Come on now.
Now, man up and answer the question, Snowden. I'm a boxer's man myself. I like to have room to breathe.
Next question,
Hey, I don't work for you.
please. Next question, please.
Yeah, no, I got a question for you, Eduardo. Why'd you lie about your salary?
I didn't lie about my salary. The most I ever made was $200,000.
200.
Jealous, Flankins?
I've always hated guys like you.
Why? Because I'm better at my job than you?
Yeah, whatever you say, traitor.
Boys, please. I have no question for you. Sarah in Oregon wants to know how you made so much money but never graduated high school.
That's a great question. I dropped out of high school, but for the record, I got my GED. I always liked programming, so I started messing around with Perl scripting, then moved on to Java and encryption algorithms. Well, I was always good with computers. I tried the Army first.
But you were discharged.
Yeah. After I broke both my legs in basic training. You really didn't read my file, did you? Did you not have top clearance? Were you not one of the 1.3 million?
Answer the lady's question, dropout.
After I got my GED and was honorably discharged from the Army, I joined the CIA as a security guard for one of their IT sections. Eventually, I got to do more serious work for them. I even taught classes. I lived in Switzerland and Japan and... You see, when you're good, and you've worked for the CIA or the NSA for a few years, eventually a government contractor will pick you up and pay you 2 or 3 times your old government salary. And I am good. On the other hand, if you've worked for the NSA for 5 years and haven't moved on to upper management or have been recruited by a private firm, then you must be the kid who gets picked last for dodgeball.
Because what? National security is like middle school to you? Real mature.
Mature, like harassing a whistleblower mature?
Yeah, you're not a whistleblower, you're a traitor.
Boys! Huh? Bat phone is buzzing.
Russians have bat phones?
Battery phone. Secure line, spy stuff, Flankins.
Duh. Is Oliver Stone? Maybe about a sequel?
Alas, you'll have to see it with English subtitles. Rode hard and put up Ed.
Do I have to take it in here?
There is closet back there. You go sit in closet.
Thanks. Hello? Oh, Oliver! Yeah.
Attention passengers. If you are invading Crimea, please report to the 320 immediate recording. Meeting Mr. Bond, Mr. James Bond.
Hey, that was, mean.
What?
Earlier, he was being mean to you. I mean, you were being a dick, but still.
I thought you Russians were all in love with him.
Him? No. He is a weird guy. He's smart, but not.
Tough. Strong. Red-blooded.
Everyone, Gospodin Snowden will be back soon. Please to wait just a minute. It's like intermission, da. But you cannot leave.
So, tell me your real name.
Natasha.
Natasha, KGB agent.
No. And is FSB.
Sure it is. You want to hear my agency nickname? Come on.
Now?
They call me Grizzly Bear.
Probably because of a freakish amount of body hair.
Grizzle Bear.
Sounds hot when you say it.
Oh, there's iPad again. So many questions. Please, Respondent Snowden, hurry. There's too many.
No, I can answer some. Come on. I mean, the show must go on, right?
Really?
Sure. How hard can it be? Yeah, just change the hashtag to AskNSA. Yeah. Hit me with your best shot.
Okay. Jeff in Indianapolis asks, what can I do to protect my online privacy?
All right, Jeff. Here's the deal. Let's say we do have access to everything, and Snowden is not some giant treasonous liar. Let's pretend that he's telling the truth, and we have been collecting everything you do and say online. We don't have time to track every Amazon purchase you make or peruse a list of what porn you're watching, and no one gives a damn about your affair. I mean, to be honest, unless you're at home making rice and gassaroni for school children, you're not even a blip on our radar.
Rice and gassaroni.
Yeah, hit me with another one, babe. Sorry. Agent.
At Wankjiku for 20 asks, how can I send email NSA can't read?
Buy stamps. Still have to get a good old-fashioned warrant for that.
All right. At Laura Butterflies asks, what is the deal with love intelligence?
Okay, well, technically that's an agency in-joke, and everyone that's been caught misusing systems has been reprimanded. I mean, the NSA strictly prohibits using agency systems to cyberstalk love interests or old girlfriends.
I've done that.
Oh. Girlfriends?
Maybe. Maybe boyfriends is private.
Really? Private?
Is between me and their email. I do not hack and tell.
That sounded like you said hack intel.
Oh, I notice you're not bilingual.
Yet.
Typical. Oh, here is good one for you. Angela from New Jersey asks, what does the NSA do anyway? I thought the FBI and the CIA did all of this.
The agency, as we like to call it, enables network warfare operations to defeat terrorists and their organizations at home and abroad, consistent with U.S. laws and the protection of privacy and civil liberties. Okay, we added that last part just to cover our ass.
Very thorough answer. It's from official handbook, right?
Look, the only way to thwart the bad guys, present company accepted, is to cast a wide net. To index and catalog every phone call and email conversation. I mean, nobody knows who the real enemy is. I mean, look at this gentleman right here. Beard, I don't know what he's hiding. He could be plotting against our entire American way of life. Yeah, I mean, look at him staring me down. That blush just betrays a guilty conscience. Yeah, wouldn't you sleep better knowing we've got our eyes on him?
Meh, I could take him.
I'd like to see that. Anyway, Angela, was it? Yeah, let me break it down for you. some 12-year-old's gonna come along sooner rather than later and render every spying capability we have obsolete by creating some unbreakable encryption. And said 12-year-old's gonna do it from the back of their mother's Volvo on the way to soccer practice. Yeah, see, our job at the NSA is to be one step ahead of that 12-year-old. See, that 12-year-old only has to be right once. The NSA has to be right every time.
The NSA, protecting you from 12-year-olds everywhere.
Well, what do you say the FSB does when people ask?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, seriously. What do you say?
Wouldn't you like to know?
And people just accept that?
Eh?
Okay, next question.
At Free Barrett Brown asks, can the NSA change the information in these databases? Doesn't that mean someone can be framed?
That's a lot of hypotheticals, fella. Look, just remember that the only proof we have that these allegations are even true are from some self-aggrandizing hacker with a history of disobedience, whose only friends are some rapist hiding out in an embassy and radical leftist South American dictators. Not to mention right-wing nutjobs in the good old US of A, so consider the source. Next question.
Here is good one for you, Grizzle Bear. How many terror attacks has the NSA thwarted using these systems?
Yeah, I'd like to hear the answer to that one, too.
Is everything okay?
Oh, liberal Hollywood just calling the option a prequel? Look who's talking 7. Edward Snowden, boy, genius.
No. Stone was updating me in a chat he had with my dad and his lawyer.
Oh, chat. Just giving you tips on how to be a better trader?
My father retired from the Coast Guard. He was a patriot. And you should shut up and answer the question about how many terror attacks you saved everyone from in return for destroying their constitutionally protected right to privacy.
Testy. Is that why you're doing this? Daddy didn't come to your Little League games, but now he'll pay attention to me.
Number 1, Flankins, and to the rest of you, my dad and I are fine. And number 2, you're clearly not brave enough to answer the question.
Fine. I'll answer it. One, just remember that we still haven't proven that these systems still exist or are operational, if they even did exist. And B, how many? At least 94. But it could be hundreds, maybe thousands of plots foiled. I mean, if it were not for the brave men and women monitoring Facebook and Twitter, we might have lost Detroit.
Meh.
Again, with the line, Flankins, not to mention, have you seen Detroit? China and NAFTA did what the terrorists couldn't, but try one plot foil, Flankins. One.
Just one.
Just one?
Does not seem worth it, eh?
No, there could be thousands. That's classified.
Like Hillary's emails?
Oh, don't forget that 12-year-old.
Yeah, no, that was
The whole plot was disrupted, and that was overseas. More Americans are killed by the police and bathtub falls than terrorists. They use that as an argument for disregarding your right to privacy, but they missed Boston, the Aurora theater shooting, Newtown, the underwear bomber, and the guy who tried to blow up his car in Times Square. They admitted that before Congress. The New York bomber? Where was the NSA then? $11 billion. Jesus, I get tired of saying all this.
No, it's the ones that you don't hear about that matter. That means we're doing our job.
Yeah, it's the tires on your car that don't explode. So you're lying to Congress then?
No, we don't lie to Congress.
But didn't head of NSA?
It was the Director of National Intelligence. He knowingly lied before Congress and said that they weren't spying on Americans. He's still in charge over there, by the way. And last year, retired NSA agent William Binney came out...
Hey, I knew Bill. We had cake at his party.
He blew the whistle about Obama's use of the NSA and IRS to harass political enemies. I'm no fan of the Tea Party, but every administration is going to butt heads with somebody. This new administration is already facing a backlash. Do you want this new president to have that kind of power?
I don't know what happened to Bill. He was a good guy. Maybe he went crazy or early dementia or drank water from Flint. I don't know.
See, those old Soviet standbys still work like a charm. Then send him to Siberia for extended R&R, together with family and neighbors.
I can see why you're so proud to work over there, Flinkins.
Hey, you leave Director Rogers out of this.
How can I? After Clapper, he was the one assigned to review my allegations and assure there's no wrongdoing. Thanks, Obama. Rogers said what I did was illegal. No trial, no hearing. Well, what's next? Assigning Anthony Weiner to lead the investigation into Carlos Danger and his dick pics? Asking Ted Cruz to get to the bottom of the government shutdown, or BP to get to the bottom of climate change?
Or Nobel Peace Prize winner using flying murder robots to kill his own citizens?
Or Putin hosting a gay pride parade.
Is not funny.
Hey, Flinkins, you got red on you.
Hey! I'm an American citizen! I work for the NSA! You can't just murder me out of hand!
Look around. Is this America?
It's really not.
No, seriously, this isn't funny!
Don't you mean your joke isn't funny?
Oh, come on! Look, I thought that we had... You know?
Say it.
What? That I find you attractive?
Good God, man, apologize to the president.
Look, I apologize! I apologize for my stupid, unfunny joke!
Fine. Boys, stand down. I've got this one. I do like you, Flankins. But do not fuck with the Putin!
Seriously, Flankins, were you not paying attention earlier?
I'm sorry. I do respect the man. Wrestling tigers, flying attack helicopters over Chechnya while technically at war with Chechnya. I mean, the guy's a certified badass.
But would never lead a pride parade because he cares about what little Russian children are being exposed to. Just like Michelle Bachmann.
Yeah, what he said. You really okay with that? This is a strange country!
Strange. And wonderful.
Let's keep going, shall we?
I agreed.
Renee from Ronheim, Germany asks, how dare you spy on sovereign nations? We are allies.
Well, that one must be for Grizzlebear. Sorry.
I'd still like to hear his answer.
No comment.
We have very similar ones here from the President of Mexico.
No comment.
France is super angry.
No comment.
Brazil.
Again! No comment.
Huh. Brazil asks to speak directly to Snowden about NSA surveillance in Brazil.
Oh, mother, may I?
Probably not.
Thanks.
It wasn't you, Grizzlebear.
Next question.
Jack from Detroit asks, how do we know you're not a Russian or Chinese spy?
That's a good point.
Really?
Oh, you just happen to go to 2 communist countries?
We are not communist. I am a libertarian.
You know that, right, Flinkins? That Russia isn't communist anymore?
Not answering the question, I see.
I'm not a spy.
Prove it.
Technically, weren't you?
Okay, yes. Technically, I was a spy on behalf of the United States when I worked for the CIA, but I wasn't a field agent, And I'm not a Russian or a Chinese spy.
Ah, the Phoenix defense.
Phoenix?
Yeah, 2 years ago he said, if I were a Chinese spy, I would have
Taken a plane into Beijing and could be living in a palace petting
a Phoenix.
Is good argument, smartass.
Ah, but I noticed you didn't explain away the Russian part.
If I were a Russian spy, I hardly think they would have locked me up in this airport for a month. I'd be in a dacha on the Black Sea petting a...
Gerard Depardieu?
Yikes.
But still, there's a chance the Chinese or the Russians could have broken into your laptops.
Nope, 0% chance.
Is true, you suck.
Oh, there's that swagger again. You're a know-it-all.
I literally taught classes in Chinese counterintelligence.
So, it's not like
Like
you're...
I taught CIA spies how to safeguard secrets on foreign soil using unsecure equipment.
But the Russians...
Have not.
Cannot. I don't have the key. They could torture me, and I still couldn't give them access to the archives. I gave access to the archives to the reporters, taught them how to keep it safe, and then left Hong Kong without the archives or the key.
Do you believe him?
He is smart-ass, but he is smart.
I left it up to the journalists to decide what and how, when to report. I wanted to show people it could be done, and done without hurting anyone.
Talk about naive.
Can we just keep going?
Oh, here is a nice one for you. Lynn in Kenosha asks, how do you like Russia? What do you do all day?
Russians are an amazing people. I've been reading the great Russian masters, Dostoevsky and the like, and trying to brush up on my Russian. My lawyer assures me that applying for continued asylum is easy, but it takes 5 years to apply for citizenship, so I've just been trying to get to know the people in the country as best as possible. I have a new job at a help desk, which is nice. It's not well paying, but nice. Which reminds me, thank you to everyone who has donated money to help me. It's really helped.
Oh. Excuse me, I have to call the office.
Take your time.
Deb from California asks, are you famous in Russia? Do people stop you and ask you questions all the time? What is your favorite question?
Wow. Sorry, Deb. It helps to have agency phone numbers sometimes. Listen, I don't have much time, so let's just get to the heart of it. What did we say earlier about the two-hop rule?
Don't forget Kevin Bacon game.
She's right. 6 degrees of separation from the NSA and the Department of Homeland Security's own SOP. So if Kevin goes rogue tomorrow, a lot of us in this room are guilty by association.
Is bit far-fetched?
Is it? The NSA surveillance program isn't collection, it's mapping. It's an enemies list for some future administration or vengeful little clerk like Flankins to abuse. Paranoid, maybe, but that's the world I live in, so that's my perspective. But think of it like this. You and everyone you know are like cups on a map. And the NSA is filling those cups with everything you say. Every email, phone call, Facebook post, browsing history. Why? Why?
Hi, Agent Flankins.
Weird. Said call the office, but there is no one there. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right, Snowden, famous in Russia.
He is not famous.
2 hands, sip, don't call.
Really?
Do you really not know?
I know.
Where do I live?
Moscow? Probably.
We should talk after this.
No, I'm not famous.
He dresses funny.
Thanks.
He dresses like I dress. We don't dress funny.
We like our labels. You look like
Like
you're...
we're poor, so no, people haven't been stopping me on the street. Can we move on to questions from the audience?
Sure.
I don't look poor.
No, but you're not what a well-off Russian looks like either. There are worse problems to have, Lincolns, believe me.
Okay, first question from live audience. Don't be shy. This is your time you can actually ask Snowden questions. Or we'll go back to Twitter.
Did you have an absentee ballot in the last election?
Could you raise your hand? I can't see you. Here.
In the back? In the back.
No. I mean, in all honesty, it's simply impossible. The thing with foreign sources is that since I had a connection with the U.S. government, they honestly have a different type of transcript as opposed to a U.S. citizen who happened to move to Great Britain or won a report in Canada and moved here, got a citizenship and moved back. It's a totally different source, and the reason being is simply because there is an inside allegation, which is if you happen to know the person or if you have secret information that affects the actual election itself. However, I mean, the second that I went to asylum, which instantly means that there is no connection between the two, just thwarts pretty much everything that happens within the mainland. It's just impossible. And in all honesty, if I did have an absentee ballot, I don't think it really would have swayed anything. I mean, I stated multiple times that this is an election that I would say is the only safest bet to actually vote third party. And the reason being is that I looked at the New York Times and they had an article that said that Hillary Clinton had a 93% chance of winning the election. And I believed it. And I think everybody in America, even voters for Trump, believed it. Because these statistics hardly lie, and I don't think they did. But when you vote third party, it simply sends a message that a two-term system of government does not work. And it's very, very simple to look at it in my respect. I mean, Hillary Clinton would have absolutely furthered President Obama's agenda, especially when it comes to government surveillance. Donald Trump? Absolutely. I mean, this is a man who holds one of the highest hotel chains in the world. And hotels, they dig within the privacy surveillance system. Absolutely. Because they get the transcripts, they get the tourists from each and every single country. And the NSA merges themselves within this system. And all they have to do is pay a 5% fee. And that's it. So, I would say it's a chance really to make a statement. And we should have been making statements long before this. Call up your representatives, talk to your governor, talk to your senators, make it work. There's no way to start from the top and go from the bottom. You have to have a chain that builds it up, and eventually that's when you can elect a leader that truly represents people. Next question.
Next question. Would anyone like to refute him? Yes, in the back.
Do you have any fear that President Putin would follow up on his offer to hand you over to the American government?
You see, that's actually a giant myth. President Putin never actually stated that he would offer me up. There is no article. In fact, the New York Times, the Washington Post, Boston Globe, the Guardian, all connected to the Kremlin. And each and every single litigator said that no, this is a complete myth. There is no way we would do this. There's really no point. In fact, I would become a liability, not only to the United States, but also to Russia. Because the second it's sent over, then it's an absolute proven that I was not a Russian spy. Countries don't give up their spies. In fact, I can't name a single one. Especially a spy, if I were to do this, as good as me. The other allegation between this is Donald Trump. When it comes to our president, I don't think he has a clear idea of the response that would happen if I were to send over. There is a law, the FISA Court of 1917, clearly states that if you are alleged within a court of justice that involves secret classified documents, anything above top secret and beyond, which includes even conversations with the president himself, that you are not allowed to give this information to anyone below. That instantly says that no one involved in this can have a fair trial. In fact, I don't think I know of any whistleblower that actually did. William Binney is a very famous case. This is a man who instantly went to the secret court and was sliced down. But then there was no really justifiable way to prove his case. So he was cut off and released. This, since they can't release the files to the public, all the FICE court has to do is take me in, lock the door, and they can basically do whatever they want. The only promise that I received within this exchange of persons is that they would not torture me. That's the only response I've gotten for the past 3.5 years. And if I were to be sent back, they would have to break the law. It's that simple. You have to break an asylum law of NATO, and then you would have to break a law to the justice of the United States Constitution. It just really can't happen. And in all honesty, it would be an ignorant no. Next question.
We'll take one from Twitter. Hashtag AskOilLamp. Did the NSA wiretap Trump Tower?
Yeah, I'll take that one, Ed. In short, it's none of your business. If you want a longer answer, I can tell you that anything that we do is done for the safety of you. So any information that we collect, and we collect all of the relevant information that we need to do our job. I think the proof that we're doing our job correctly is that you're all here. You're all happy, you're smiling, you're comfortable. So I would say, as much as Eddie Crocker over here is telling you that we are invading you, invading your space and your privacy and your life, you have a life. So you're welcome.
Has anyone heard of this new ISP internet bill that has been released over the past few days?
Yeah.
Anyway, this bill, under the guidance and the laws from ACLU versus Clapper, is absolutely legal. This is a legal bill. They can do that. The reason it is legal is because they are not technically collecting information. They are specifically targeting people, you and every single one of you. They're not randomly selecting people and pushing them into a box. That is their form of mapping, whereas their form of collecting is taking a certain person out of that box and tracking them to certain Google URLs, Amazon purchases, tracking that to a mailing address, tracking that back to the URL that connects to your Gmail, Yahoo account, Facebook. And that sends a direct line straight to the NSA or the CIA. It sends a direct line straight to any drone in the United States of America. And all it takes is for me to click a button at my desk because a buddy of mine says, look at this person. She's very attractive. Or look at this buffoon, he just fell over. And then I can instantly look. But with this bill, it's specific. It's saying that, hey, this is somebody who has a high-profile account, who has many purchases that go directly to our system. It works on an advertisement. But then they have your information. And it's completely legal. Because they contacted you specifically. Maybe not your person and your profile, but your information is contacted out there and taken and sold for that profit. Shouldn't you owe some money? Shouldn't you receive some money? This is your liability. It's a seizure, which directly violates the Fourth Amendment. And yet, under these laws, which are completely flawed, because they only cut about half of them, that's all they have to do.
Next question from audience. Anything at all? Yes.
So when I hear your story, I think that I don't like that the government is lying to me, or that might be a possibility. But I also think that I don't have much to hide, really. Most of my text messages
Great
to
question.
my roommate or my mom or dad.
Absolutely great question. The response to the first half of your question is that they did lie. It was proven under ACLU versus Clapper. There is no myth about it. Look it up, it's there. Saying that you have nothing to hide basically means that if you were to equate it to the First Amendment, it means you have nothing to say. Why do I need it? You have nothing to fear, you have nothing to hide, nothing to say. Why would you need the amendment in the first place? And this is a direct quote from Joseph Goebbels of Nazi propaganda. Exactly. And these rights, maybe you don't have anything to hide, maybe you don't even have anything to say. But these rights are not for the majority. A majority party, majority race, sex, disability. This is a majority decision of the rich to keep what they have because they are in the okay. The rights were for the minority. The Americans back in the 1700s, they were the minority. They had nothing to do. And these rights secure that if a majority party rules on one of your allegations, like let's say that maybe you broke your leg, and everybody who is two-legged, they can walk, don't want to have to pay a fine in order to recuperate you. Well, then all we have to take is a certain right written down and say, yes, you do. Even though I'm the minority, you have to give me equal opportunity. And that is why we have the Bill of Rights. That is why we continually make amendments, so that at some future case, in case you need it, maybe not right now, but in case you will have something to hide. Maybe you all of a sudden find a friend in Yugoslavia. Because you have that friend, it's going to connect your URL automatically back to them, which is immediately going to put you back into that box, because you have a foreign source. And it's just your friend. But if you do anything wrong, all they have to do is pick it out, throw it in your face, and that is all the information they need to convict you.
Yeah, but you did something wrong in that scenario, Ed. These laws were written to prevent people from coming in and taking your food, taking your family.
To specifically target. But this is not a specific target. This is someone who has a connection. They're in a grand group. It's illegal. If she had a specific allegation with this person involving terrorist activity, absolutely. I joined the NSA on that cause. But when you put everybody into a group, a minority, then you have a problem with the United States Constitution. Anything else?
One last
Attention
question.
passengers, United Airlines Flight 243 to Los Angeles, boarding at gate F20.
Those are easy questions. Snowden. They let you off easy.
Going off question that young lady in back head, do you have anything more to say, Snowden, about why people should be concerned about NSA collecting their data when they don't have anything to hide?
Because, again, privacy is an essential right guaranteed by the Constitution. It says quite clearly that we are to be secure in our persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, which shall not violate, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. It is the sacred trust fundamental to the presumption of innocence on which our entire judiciary is based. When the government ignored the Fourth Amendment, they broke that sacred trust. You are innocent until proven guilty. Not innocent until someone finds something that makes you look guilty.
That's not what we do.
Prove it.
And Jimmy 420 says, you were a leaker in 2nd grade too.
There have got to be better questions than that.
Oh, there's that sullen hacker bit on revenge we've all been waiting for.
That is good one. I'll save that one.
Oh, please?
Oh, what's the matter, Snowden? Can't take the heat?
There's a whole bunch of these, Snowden. How long have you known you were going to betray the U.S.? Why do you hate America? Why should we listen to a traitor like you?
Looks like the folks at Fox found your hashtag.
I'm not a traitor.
You cannot honestly believe that.
I have been really careful to redact any information that could directly harm the United States.
We already know that the terrorists are changing their MOs based on your leaks. Sounds an awful lot like giving aid and comfort to the enemy.
The American people are not the enemy.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to hear him answer that one about hating America.
I don't hate America. I joined the army knowing full well I'd be sent into combat. Why would I do that if I didn't believe in America?
Oh, because you're an anarchist with a grudge.
Who has worked for the government or government contractor my entire adult life?
Is enough to turn you into Antichrist?
Anarchist.
Is different?
Aren't you on my side?
If you love America so much, why don't you come home? Stand trial.
I believe I can do more good for America out of a jail cell than in one. Even from Russia.
You're not done hurting us yet, right?
Only you, Flinkins. Only you. I gave the files to the journalists. I blew the whistle and then ran for cover. All of this was happening and no one knew. And I have been more than responsible. I could have pulled a Chelsea Manning and leaked everything.
Oh, Fred sounded like a true patriot there.
But I didn't. I'm not out to destroy America. I made sure that good, trustworthy journalists have information. I didn't tell them what to publish either. It's not my job, it's theirs.
No, you just handed a match to the terrorist holding the dynamite. What they do is their responsibility. The consequence. The mess you've made. You've got the entire world mad at the country you claim to love.
It's been spying unlawfully on its allies and using cyber warfare tactics that affect civilians of countries we're not even at war with. I was the one who dialed 911.
No, you missed American alliances. You made America out to be a hypocrite in the eyes of the rest of the world. You've created a diplomatic nightmare.
Which is great fun for us. For us in China. Oh, please. So many of your arguments are, oh, Russia and China are so bad. They spy on their citizens, they restrict freedoms, and they lie about it. Well, funny story. Pay close attention. We don't exactly lie about such things. We just don't answer those questions fully. Okay, maybe Chinese lie. I don't know. I'm not from there.
The United States is nothing like Russia.
You think so?
I know so.
Okie dokie.
Be honest, man. How much of this did you know before I leaked it?
Lots of it. A ton.
But not all of it.
It's not my job to know all of it.
What is your job? Why did you get assigned to him?
Yeah, I'm their best man.
Oh, no offense, Grizzle Bear, but I would think best man would be from CIA or FBI.
I can tell you why.
Shut up, Snowden.
Why?
No, come on, man.
No, you're my hero, and I've got to say why now that I have the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, Agent Flinkins here was the guy in charge of keeping track of NSA contractors from leaving the country unexpectedly.
Is true.
Oh, yeah. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here tonight. And if the NSA were kind, he wouldn't have to babysit me from afar. And what I can only assume is a really crappy per diem.
Ouch. That's no good.
Yeah. Well, we can't all be rich traders.
My accounts are all seized. I'm not rich.
Is true. Is why he's such a bad dresser.
He dresses fine!
Who are you mad at, Flinkins?
Just shut up! You know what? Stand there. Stand there and be smug. At least I can go home.
Yeah. There's that. that. Are we done here?
One last question. At Bill T asks, was it
worth it? Look, I'm just like everybody else. Was it worth it? Did I mean to end up camped out in Russia? No. Did I mean to put my family in jeopardy? No. What I meant to do was tell the truth, so people would know what is going on. And I just hoped it would. Was it worth it? I don't know. I mean, 1 million people in Germany flooded the streets in protests, but in my own home country, if there hadn't been an election... Look, I'd be lying if I were to say I haven't been disappointed. I just wish it would be nice if everyone could just tell the truth. If the US government could be honest about what it has been doing instead of dragging me through the mud, denying the latest story until the next one comes out to prove that their denials are also lies. But now you know that, at least, and that's something. And you know they say they'll protect whistleblowers, but you can see that isn't true. 2 years on, and I'm still here in Russia, so who knows what's going to happen. Ecuador offered me asylum, but they're cracking down on leakers there that would make me look an even bigger hypocrite. Julian Assange and I could share a flat, and The Odd Couple 2.0, what happens when two madcap computer hackers are exiled together in a small little apartment in a South American country. Comedy Gold coming this fall on NBC. You know what? Here's the thing. It's not too late to roll this back. As of right now, it's still possible to create laws that specifically protect Americans from this sort of government intrusion and shut these programs down. To the US government, spend hundreds of millions of tax dollars to influence mobile phone makers to include backdoors accessible by the government? Yes. But can we write laws and design policies to preclude this from ever happening again? But it has to be now. It's almost too late, but not quite. You know now, and you can't unknow it unless you really want to. It's in your hands. My life is over, I know that. Apparently, I'm documents released detailing the abuses of the Obama administration. But I've had a good life. A comfortable life. An amazing life. And I just hoped... You know, a lot of people have called me a traitor. They say I broke a sacred trust. Well, sure, I did. Because the government I worked for and believed in broke our trust. And if I'd done this any differently, So was it worth it? Yes. Despite all evidence to the contrary, yes. At least now it's all out in the open and there is still a chance to fix this. I have no regrets.
anything else?
No.
If it's any consolation, we're taking it up the ass on this one.
Thanks, Flinkins. That's not why I did it, but thanks.
That's really not why you did it.
No.
Huh. Okay. Дамы и господа, спасибо. That concludes his presentation. Thank you for coming. Make sure you are on mailing list for future. And don't forget to like Russia, Putin, and the FSB on Facebook and Twitter as we continue to fully exploit Mr. Snowden to maximum political benefit for as long as he remains useful to us.
Wow. That was plainly said.
Is Russia. Why lie?
And one last thing. Thank you to everyone who has supported me out there. Really, thank you. I'm sorry. You know what? Just thank you. And if you have time, you should really try the blintzes here in the airport and the terminal. They're amazing.
Let's roll, boys.
Let's roll, boys.
Good night. So, I assume I'll be seeing you guys?
Not if we're doing our job right.
You know, there's a little cafe right across the street from his apartment.
Where is his apartment?
Newark. Newark. Can anyone tell me where the Newark flight is departing from?
Attention passengers. United Flight 431 to Newark, New Jersey is now departing at gate F11.
Oh, wait! Don't forget!
Oh, no.
Well, what are you all still doing here?